Mr. Arnold Pundi as a lecturer and dissertation research project coordinator. And for the topic today is developing business simulation for college students to create potential entrepreneurial mindset. And for today's session is being streamed on the Universitas STEKOM YouTube channel. And for now, we will start with the main event presentation by Mr. Arnold and continue with the Q&A session in the next session with time for documentation and last time is closing. Okay, let's begin. We will start class presentation delivered by Mr. Arnold. The time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope you are listening me. You are hearing me. Are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, sure.
Hello? Can you hear me? Can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Good morning, madam, and good morning, all participants. Yeah, I've come up with my presentation on the developing business simulation for college students as a deliberate strategy to create potential entrepreneur a mindset. So in this presentation, we are going to look at the issues of planning and design, development and implementation, running the simulation, post-simulation analysis, and feedback. So to begin with, take note that colleges and universities can offer a variety of business simulation that add a hands-on element to develop entrepreneurship courses. So games in these categories can target second or third years undergraduate all the way up to MBAs. So the whole purpose is to equip our students to be potential entrepreneurs. So the development of the simulation for the college students will need to define learning objectives, gather relevant data, and choose appropriate simulation software. So there is a need to build scenarios that require students to make decisions, conduct the simulation, analyze the results, and provide feedback. But at the same time, there is a need to mitigate risk in the environment. Therefore, the simulation should also provide a risk-free environment for the students to develop critical business decision-making skills through hands-on experiential learning. But how do you go about it? So if you look at the next slide, we'll explain how as an institution can go about developing a simulation. The first part is there is a need to planning and design. So define objectives and scope, which will determine the specific skills the simulation will teach, such as the strategic thinking, financial management, or marketing, which are the essential components of an entrepreneur. Then there is also need to establish the scope of the simulation, such as specific industry or business type. So the simulation should really be targeted to the specific industry or business which is to be conducted probably after the graduation.
Pardon,
The
sir.
second, sorry?
Should we start your PowerPoint or or you will share screen, sir?
Hello?
Yeah, for the PowerPoint, we will share screen or we will share
Okay,
screen or from your side.
are you able to see?
No, still no.
Still no. Okay, let me just
Yeah.
say if I can sort out my Zoom. Um, okay. Or is it okay if you can be controlling the slides that side?
Oh,
Then you
from
can
our
move.
side?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
start from the beginning. Then if you can hear me, then you can be scrolling down as I go along.
Yeah. Please, just a moment.
Okay. So start me from the cover page, if you can.
Please.
On the first page.
Yeah, just a moment, sure.
Okay. Are you okay?
Yeah, just a moment, sure. I think we have a technical issue from my colleagues.
Okay. So that you
Yeah,
control
because
it from that side, then I'll be telling you go which slide to go.
hello?
Hello, yes, can I start?
Yes, please.
Can you start on the cover page then? On the cover page.
This is visible?
Is that okay?
Yes.
Can I start?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, so developing simulation for college students as a deliberate strategy to create potential entrepreneurial mindset. Can you go on to the next one? So we are going to look at planning and design, developing and implementation, running the simulation, post-simulation analysis, and feedback. And the next, are you okay? Are we together? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. I think we have a technical issue
Okay.
with.
Um, so you can't access my PowerPoint slides? Hello? Maybe let my colleague start, then I can follow. Is that okay? If there's anyone who...
Hello, sir.
Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah, you can continue.
So let's start then on the front cover. Can I start on the front page?
Hello.
Yeah, can I start on the front page? Is that okay?
Yes.
So so I was saying that if you go to the title, go on my face on the cover page, go back a little bit on the PowerPoint slide number 1, go back. Can you go back on slide number 1? Number 1. Yeah. So the title is Developing Business Simulation for College Students as a deliberate strategy to create potential entrepreneurial mindset. This I'm referring to the undergraduates and MBAs. So can you go on the next slide? Then we'll be looking at issues regarding to the planning and design, development and implementation, running the simulation, and then post-simulation analysis and feedback. And the next one. Okay, on the introduction part, uh, I'm looking at college and universities which can offer a variety of business simulation that add a hands-on element to entrepreneurship courses. So games in this category can target second or third year undergraduates all the way to those who are taking their Masters in Business Administration, MBAs. And the next one. So the first part is how do we develop development of the simulation for college students? Number 1, there is a need to define learning objectives, gather relevant data, and choose appropriate simulation software. And then build scenarios that require students to make decisions, conduct the simulation, analyze the results, and provide feedback, as well as provide a risk-free environment for students to develop critical business decision-making skills through hands-on experiential approach. Basically, we're looking at within the college campus, just the same way how we do with the gaming. On the next one. Now, how do you go about it? So let's look at the way how you can come up with simulation courses. Go on to the next slide. Number 1, there is a need for planning and design. Define objectives and scope. Okay, define the objective and scope of the simulation, which will then teach such strategic thinking, financial management, or marketing. On the same time, you can establish the scope of simulation. The scope of simulation, such as specific industry or business type. Take me to the next slide. Then gather data. There's a need to collect data. What data is relevant to the chosen industry to create realistic market conditions and challenges. And then select a tool. Choose between a custom simulation using a pre-built platform. Note that a browser-based platform are common and can be highly be recommended. And really highly engaging. If we use the browser-based platform, they'll be highly engaging. Take me to the next slide. Then there is a need to development and implementation. So build a scenario models, create a realistic and dynamic business environment. This includes factors like market competition, customer behavior, and financial constraint. Then on the implementation, there is also need to integrate the simulation. So you need to incorporate the simulation into the curriculum, explaining its purpose and how it aligns with the learning goals. Then set up team structures, organize students into teams to foster collaboration, communication, and the division of responsibilities. Take me to the next one. Okay, then there is a need to running the simulation. There's a need to running the simulation. So conduct the simulation, allow students to make decisions within the simulated environment, that's within the college campus, and observe the consequences unfold in a risk-free setting. Take me to the next one. Okay. Then when you've done that, there's a need to monitor progress. So you are in the college environment. So when you do the simulation, there is a need to monitor the progress. Now, regularly check in with teams to ensure they understand the mechanism and are aligned with their goals. Then facilitate learning, where you encourage the teamwork and open communication among team members to help them learn from each other and develop collective intelligence. Take me to the next one. All right. When you've done that, there is a need to analyze the results. So in the simulation, you analyze the results. After the simulation concludes, analyze the data to understand the outcomes of the decisions made by each member. So after the simulation concludes, then analyze the data to understand the outcome of the decision made by each team. While on the same note, there's a need to provide feedback. So offer constructive feedback on the team's strategies, decision-making processes, and performance. So obviously, the team will really come up with a feedback of the results in the simulation. Then connect theory to practice. So really, you're going to facilitate a discussion that bridges the gap between the simulation, experience, and classroom theory. The next one. All right. When I've done that, then there is also a need for depth and breadth of the content, which can differ across the games to provide a good fit for various time frames, class concentration, and apportionment in the courses. So it means that this presentation will cover the entrepreneur and venture simulation, core-learning content, instructor involvement, as well as identifying opportunities. So within the course itself, there might be a need to look at really the gist of it. So take me to the next slide. Okay. So in the next one, then, if you are to look at entrepreneurship and venture and new venture, then the student profoundly need essential entrepreneurial skills to create and manage the next big strategy, which is the introduction of the business simulation while at the college. It is absolutely beneficial to let the students experience the highs and the lows of starting a new venture in a business, which is within the simulation, within the college, before actually getting released to the on the market to start their own businesses. So take me to the next slide. Okay. Then in your entrepreneurship simulation, then the student will perform a business opportunity analysis, experiment with business strategies, design and launch products to the market, and manage the entire life cycle from introduction to growth to maturity. They'll prepare business plans and make a pitch for outside capital. They'll learn to think like successful entrepreneurs. The next slide. Okay, jump that one, go into the next one on the business opportunity simulation. Go into the next one. Okay, on business opportunity simulation, there is a need to identify business opportunities and formulate strategy to profitable serve the targeted market segment through interconnected tactical decisions. Yeah, take me to the next slide. Okay. Now, there is a need to identify business opportunities and formulate strategies to profitably serve the targeted market segment through interconnected and hello, can you hear me? Take me to the next slide. Yeah, so go back a little bit, go back a little bit, go back. Yeah, so there is a need to add it also to use tools for gap analysis simulation. So one can use SWOT. So this SWOT really will be a tool where you have to identify the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So framework helps visualize the company's internal and external environment to identify gaps and opportunities for improvement. Get me to the next one. Yeah, so market research simulation is also important so that when you talk of the market research, This is a systematic process collecting and analyzing data on customers, competitors, and industry trends to identify new opportunities for growth, new products, and improvement to existing offerings. The next one. Then by understanding consumer behavior, uncovering market gaps, assessing market potential, market research helps business make informed data-driven decisions to develop effective strategies, differentiate from competitors, and achieve long-term success. So you can't run away from making a simulation on consumer behavior as well as market research. On the next one. Okay, now let me quickly run through where are opportunities born. So one of the areas of opportunities is the technological sea change. Now, according to Met law, the number of possible really cross connection in the network grow at the square of the number of computers in the network. So basically, we are in a world where you cannot really do without tapping on the technology. So by tapping from the technology, it means that you can really have the community value of a network that grows as the square of the number of users in its increase. In other words, with the technology sea change, that's the area to tap for any new business. The next one. Okay. On really, then you got the society see change. Changes in where we live, learn, work. Really, according to Brontosaurus factor, companies get slow, lazy, stopping innovation. So within the community, because of the arrogance, loss of peripheral vision, deadened, reflected, tunnel tank, we have the society where we can see what gap is there within the society. So there is what is known as irrational exuberance. People to focus on the wrong value metric, a lot of undervalued answers, which makes certain part of the society create a gap which is an opportunity for an entrepreneur. On the next one, next slide. Okay. There is also a need for enhanced creative thinking simulation. So creative thinking is of great value in recognizing opportunity. So within this simulation, there will be a need that the students should be really exposed to creative thinking, and the creative thinking can be learned or enhanced. Next one. And this is the window of opportunity simulation. Window of opportunity with simulation. Opportunities exist or are created in real time. For an entrepreneur to seize an opportunity, the window of opportunity must open and remain open long enough to achieve market required returns. So this simulation should really show that there is a window of opportunity whereby the entrepreneur can capitalize on. Say, for example, availability of investors or funders. That can be a window of opportunity for a learner to take advantage of. Next one. Okay, there is a need for screening opportunities. So screening opportunities, simulation, criteria for really evaluating eventual opportunities include industry and market, economics, harvest issues, competitive advantage issues, management team issues, personal criteria, and strategic differentiation. So there is a need that within the simulation, we should cover the industry and the market itself. And then we look at the economics, okay, and then the harvest issues of what will happen when you are really wrapping up the business for one reason or the other. For example, if the business is failing, then the simulation should indicate how you are going to exit the market. And then the competitive advantages issues should be also covered within the simulation. And then the management team issues. So a strong management team, what will happen, that should be indicated within the simulation. Because if the management team is strong, then it's likely that the business will grow. Then what sort of people really are involved? So the personal criteria, are they achievers? Is there synergy within the team? And then strategic differentiation. Take me to the next slide, please. Okay. Then also there is the issue of comparison simulation. So valuation multiples and comparables compare how firms have valued in the past to establish the boundaries and point of departure. Consider possible exit mechanism and strategies. Then capital market context. Consider availability of capital markets in relation to acquisition of the firm. So comparison simulation, benchmarking simulation, what has happened actually on the industry. Take me to the next one. Next slide, please. Okay, then there is also need for visibility study and risk assessment. So a feasibility study is a comprehensive analysis to determine if a project is practical, viable, and has the potential for success by evaluating the technical, economic, legal, operational, and market factors. So that would be one of the best way how one can do the visibility studies, looking at all the aspects that surround the visibility in order to mitigate risk. So take me to the next one. Take me to the, okay. Now, together, they provide decision makers with the critical information to understand the risk, confirm viability, and make informed choices about whether to proceed with a project. So that will be really highlighted within the simulation. So should we continue with the project or not? Is the project really profitable or not? That will be really highlighted within the simulation. Take me on the next one. Okay, so in conclusion, there is a need to develop first potential entrepreneurs in college or within the college campus before these entrepreneurs really go out after graduation. That will provide a very, very wonderful platform. And as we have seen, there is a need to get your students compete among themselves in teams that will really show what will happen when they go out there in the industry, when they meet stiff competition. So they will have gained the experience and the expertise within the college campus. So in order to leverage their competitive spirit and maximize engagement, where available, use computer-generated competitors where administration and coordination of the teams must be as simple as possible in such a way in a very large class, just like gaming. Thank you very much. So that's the end of my presentation this time around. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation, sir. And we have, yeah, and for all participants, if you have any question for the speaker, please add them to the chat or you can raise your hand. Now, for our first question, we have a question from Ms. Corey. In your opinion, what is the big challenge in implementing business simulation program effective in university? The question already read in the Zoom chat. Thank you.
Come up with a question. I didn't get it properly.
Uh, I will repeat again. In your
Mm.
business, I'm sorry. In your opinion, what is the biggest challenge in implementing business simulation program effective
Mm.
in university?
Yeah, yeah, in the really using the simulation within the university campus, what I was trying to drive at is that it's more effective within the university because we do give our student the theory part of it. So by coming with the simulation kind of approach, it means it's going to help our students have their hands-on before they're exposed to the industry. I think basically that's what I'm trying to drive at. So the implementation part of it really will look at all the marketing aspect, the entrepreneurship mindset, which is covered in the classroom setup. Then he exposed the same thing, put them as if we have our students on the ground through computer games. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then the second question, how can how can business simulation incorporate ethical and sustainable entrepreneurship value,
Mm,
not just profit making goal? Thank you.
mm, mm, mm. Yeah, there is a need to achieve this sustainability part of it by looking at some of the ethical values which really are covered when the students are in class, some of the ethics in running up the simulation will be, if, for example, not to cheat. So be as honest as possible so that whatever result come out, it should be along with the ethical mind say to say our students should be as honest as possible without manipulation so that we don't violate our ethical values in any environment, as well as adhering to the business ethics, respecting the consumer rights as well, and then as well as the Data Protection Act. That is important. On the sustainability of it, there is a need that whatever our students have been really trained on the simulation, there is a need to have a follow-up of how our students are performing when they leave the college. So you may have, for example, the alumni of the students who were exposed to this simulation entrepreneurship mindset and see how they are performing out there after graduation. Have they gone up uh, as entrepreneurs or not? So if they have gone up as entrepreneurs, then there is a need for a feedback from the really from the alumni students so that there is a need to improve where there are gaps within the simulation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then the last question, are the are there way to measure how much a student entrepreneurial mindset improve after participating in such simulation?
Come again.
Are
Come
are
again.
there are there way to measure how much a student entrepreneurial mindset improve after
Mm.
participating in such simulation?
Yes, there is a way how you can measure the mindset of the entrepreneurs who have been exposed to the simulation. So what can happen initially would be there is a need to benchmark. So you may have a class which you were exposed to simulation, entrepreneurship courses, and those students who were not exposed to simulation entrepreneurship courses, and compare the two. So there is a need to benchmark the two to measure out whether our simulation is really successful or not. So the other students who were not really, who did not cover the simulation, and those students who cover the simulation can be compared out there after they've graduated by getting a feedback. I think that's the best way how we can measure how much is in the mindset of the entrepreneurs who were exposed to simulation. For example, one or two can be interviewed after they have left the college after graduation to see how much really is there in terms of entrepreneur thinking, because the entrepreneur thinks differently from the one who is not an entrepreneur in terms of business. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I guess no one else asking again. Before I close this event, for all participants, please open your camera. I will take a picture on the count of three for documentation. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, another one. One, two, three. Thank you for your cooperation. Finally, we come to the end of visiting lecture today. We would like to thank you for Mr. Arnold for the wonderful information and sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for all participants. At least we have to have more collaboration in the future. The visiting lecture for today and here with this soon. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Have a nice
Bye.
weekend.